I'm Nathan Thompson, and I'm the Executive Director of North St. Louis County Habitat for Humanity.
I'm Parker Quammen. I'm the Executive Director of Goodhue County Habitat for Humanity.
I first learned about the Habitat bike ride. I was probably the first week that I was an Executive Director, and my job was to go and help cook a meal for the Habitat 500 that was coming through town. Seeing all the bikes come in to the church where we were having the dinner and all of the fun that everybody was having, I just thought it sounded like such a blast. And there was one of our board members that was riding the bike ride, and as he went by the food line, I told him, "Boy, this looks like fun, I should try this."
When I first started, I didn't know whether I could do that. And it turned out the very first ride was the hardest ride the hardest ride. It was a lot of hills, and it was really, really hot. I've done it 5 times. I plan to do it this year.
The first year, I have to say, was a little bit of a challenge, not being, I guess I would put it as I'm a recovering couch potato. Riding 500 miles on a bicycle was a real challenge, and I made it to the end and determined to come back a second year thinking, I can do a little better than this. This will be my 9th year. I have 3 daughters, and I have taken my 2 oldest daughters now separately in separate years on a tandem across 500 miles. My wife, who of course has done this with me as a volunteer, tells everybody, it's like summer camp for adults.
I would say, in a kind of general way, it's both a physical challenge. That's one of the things I like about it. And it's also a wonderful social experience because of the people that participate. Many of them are returning riders, and so each year it's kind of a reunion.
You get to the ride on the registration day, and you're talking to all of your buddies and it's almost like you're in a time warp. When you get to that day, you haven't seen these folks for a year, but all of a sudden you're just back in the Habitat 500 world.
Real strong sense of community.
The friendships that we make, I think, last a lifetime. It's a very special thing as you kind of share the joys and strains and challenges and the experiences that you have on a 7-day, 500-mile bike ride. The volunteers on this ride, I think, make it. I always tell people we have 135 riders and at least 40 support staff, so if you do the math, you realize that you're really pampered on this ride.
It's very, very well managed. It's we are really very well taken care of during the ride and feel quite pampered.
I think I know she works harder than I do as a rest stop volunteer. So this will be my 9th year as a bike rider, kind of partying on the road. This will be her 9th year of getting up at 4:30 in the morning and taking the tent down and finding the rest stop 1 location and making sure everything is set up for the bike riders.
There isn't any other ride quite like this in terms of the support.
Just to celebrate the fact that people have been committed enough to ride 500 miles in a week for 20 years to help build homes with families. That to me is a really special feat.
I really think that it's a great thing to do. It's a great cause, and it's really a fun event.
It really had me hooked. Just meeting the people along the trail, on the road. The camaraderie that we find with everybody on the bike ride is really special.